Kakwa village, nestled between rolling hills and whispering streams. There lived a girl named Fida. Her name, meaning gains, was a prophecy of the blessings she carried: beauty, intelligence, and an unyielding spirit. From a young age, Fida stood out like the morning sun, radiant and impossible to ignore. Her beauty was legendary. Men, both young and old, would pause in their work just to catch a glimpse of her walking by. Her skin glowed like polished mahogany, her eyes sparkled with determination, and her laughter was a melody that danced on the wind. But Fida was not just beautiful, she was hardworking, visionary, and fiercely focused. While other girls spent their days gossiping and dreaming of marriage, Vida tilled the land, traded at the market, and spoke of building a future beyond the village. Naturally, such a girl could not escape the jealousy of others. The village girls whispered behind her back, claiming that her success was not from hard work, but from dark charms. Look at her, walking like a queen. Who does she think she is? No man will ever truly love her. She's too proud. But Vida paid them no mind. She had dreams bigger than their petty words. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in hues of orange and gold, a respected elder from a neighboring village arrived at Fida's home. Her mother, adhering to tradition, welcomed him warmly and prepared a feast in his honor. A plump chicken was slaughtered, a sign of great respect, and as custom demanded, the best parts, the gizzard, liver, and back, were reserved for the elder, symbolizing his superiority. Her mother, before leaving to fetch water from the stream, instructed Fida, serve him with respect. Let him eat first. When he's done, he may permit you to take a piece. Do not disgrace this house. Fida nodded, but in her heart she seethed. Why must men always eat first? Why must women wait like beggars? As she served the meal, she deliberately left out the gizzard and liver, placing them aside for herself. Then, in a bold move, she sat across from the elder, uninvited, and reached for a piece of meat without waiting for his permission. The elder's eyes widened. Child, do you not know tradition? Fida smiled. Times are changing, elder. Women eat when they are hungry, not when men allow it. The elder said nothing, but his face darkened. He ate in silence, his displeasure thick in the air. When he finished, Fida did not pack the leftovers for him. Another grave insult. In Kwakwa tradition, a visitor must never leave empty-handed, especially after such a meal. As the elder stood to leave, he turned to her, his voice low and heavy. Fida, your beauty is great, but your pride is greater. You have spat on the ways of our ancestors. May the gods judge you for this. With that, he left, his curse hanging in the air like a storm cloud. At first, nothing happened. Fida laughed off the elder's words, believing herself untouchable. But soon, strange misfortunes began. Her crops withered overnight. The man who once adored her now avoided her gaze. Even her reflection in the water seemed to fade, as if her beauty was draining away. One night, she dreamt of the village ancestors, their faces stern. You have disrespected the balance, they whispered. Pride comes before the fall. Days turned to weeks, and Fida's once flourishing life crumbled. The village turned against her, whispering that the gods had marked her. The same girls who had envied her now pitied her, or worse, mocked her downfall. In her despair, Vida finally understood. Her defiance had not been for justice, but for pride. Tradition was not just about submission, it was about respect, balance, and honor. She sought out the elder, falling to her knees in repentance. But some curses, once spoken, cannot be undone. Vida wandered far from the village. After her plea to the elder was met with silence. The old man had merely looked at her with tired eyes and whispered, "The gods have already answered." She had hoped for forgiveness, a reversal, some sign of mercy, but none came. The once vibrant girl became a shadow of herself. Her laughter, once the song of the hills, was silenced. Her skin dulled, her market stalls emptied, and even the wind no longer carried her name. The whispers in the village grew louder. She brought it on herself. She thought she was above her ways. Now look at her. But Vida was not entirely broken. Beneath the ruins of her pride lay the same fire that had made her fearless. She knew she could not undo the past, but perhaps she could rewrite the future, not to recover what she had lost, but to find what truly mattered. One night, she climbed the sacred hill where the village ancestors were said to dwell in spirit. There, she built a small altar of stones, placed offerings of millet, honey, and the last of her beads, and lit a fire with trembling hands. "My ancestors," she whispered. "I was blind in my pride. I did not understand the weight of my actions. I sought to change the world by force, not wisdom. But I have learned. I do not seek for my beauty back. I do not ask for wealth. I ask only for guidance. Let me walk the right path. Let me restore the balance I broke." As the flames flickered, the wind stilled. Then a soft voice rose from the shadows. Not quite a voice, more a presence. "You were not wrong to seek change, Vida, but change without humility becomes destruction. Rise, child of both earth and fire. Your punishment has served its lesson." The wind returned, carrying with it the scent of fresh rain. Vida felt warmth return to her limbs, not the superficial beauty of old, but a deep strength, calm and enduring. Vida returned to the village, not as the proud girl of yesterday, but as a woman reborn. She no longer demanded respect. It followed her naturally. She taught the girls not just to dream, but to listen, to honor where they came from before shaping where they were going. She sat with elders, not in defiance, but in dialogue. Slowly, the village softened toward her. She began a new tradition, the gathering of voices, where elders and youth met once a month to share stories, teach, and question. Men and women sat as equals, not in defiance of culture, but in celebration of it. And from those gatherings came change, not with curses and rebellion, but with understanding. Though Fida's beauty never fully returned, her name became legendary for another reason. Not the girl who lost everything, but the woman who rose from ruin to heal a village. And from then on, whenever a girl in the village stood tall with ambition, the elders would say with a knowing smile, "Maybe she be as wise as Fida."